What's up, guys? If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, please smash that like button on the video and enjoy the show.
And so from there, you then have outposts, which are areas that people may be. Some of them are very large bases. We were based out of one called Camp Taji. Literally, there was a swimming pool on the base, right? Like
Nice amenities.
the people doing the paper and pen, I then learned I might have not taken the $20,000 and just hung out with them because they were fucking chilling, right?
Yeah.
But then you have the combat arms who are going out and kind of doing the things that they're doing. And then you have like very, very remote out bases, which could literally be one building or like an old police station or something like that.
Got it. So, what was the name of your job again? Combat engineer?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
Bait.
And you were bait. Why do you call it bait?
That's what we were. We were bait. We basically, majority of what I did in Iraq was something called night route clearance. Basically, what would happen is there would be a road. They knew 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, someone's going to drive down that road. They've got resupply, could be troop movement, could be, all kinds of different things. And what we were trained to do was to go out in the middle of the night. We would go out in what they call skeleton crews. So
How many? How many people?
In a normal vehicle, let's say like a striker vehicle, I think it can hold like 11 or 12 people.
Okay.
And so you got a driver, you got, kind of a commander of the vehicle, you've got a gunner, and then you can carry, called 8 to 12 people in the back. We would go out with 5 people in that vehicle. We'd have the driver. We'd have one gunner on the actual kind of 50 cal machine gun. We'd have somebody as the commander of the truck, and we'd have 2 guys out the back. In other vehicles, we had specialized vehicles specifically for this task. There's something called a Husky. And basically what they would do is we would drive them on the sides of the road out in front of us, 2 of them. And their job was to try to visually locate IEDs before we got to them. And it's exactly what it sounds like. We're clearing the road at night for people who are going to come behind us. And so that bait is not just try to find the IEDs. It's also try to get them to attack you, because if you can clear the road, then the people behind you will be able to go swifter.
How many days a week were you doing this?
Every night.
It was every single night.
Yeah, it was fun as shit. I'd go back and do it in a heartbeat. Yeah, I mean, you got to remember, right? Like you're doing this. There is something incredibly intoxicating about driving down the road in a vehicle at 12 miles an hour, slow as possible. Everyone else is going fast as shit. Speed deters a lot of attacks. We're going slow, and we have floodlights on the outsides of our vehicles to light up everything around us so we can see better, but also so they know we're here. You want to attack somebody, attack us today.
You got a rush from that?
You are doing this with guys that you know very intimately at this point, and you feel like there's no one who can fuck with you in the world. And as you're rolling down the street, when people try to, whether it is they're shooting at you, they're trying to blow you up, or literally they're just fucking with you, trying to make your life hard, you get the feedback loop, right? And you realize like, yeah, we're good at this. And so as you're doing the night route clearance, when you first get there, it's like any job, right? Like, okay, well, in the manual, it said, this is what we do. We see a potential IED. There's some trash on the road. Okay, everyone stop, call it in. We think that we see an IED. And in training, they're like, we had robots. Like there's a guy who could control a robot. And he'd like put it out. It's called a Talon. And he could like move it up there. And we remember being so impressed in training, like the pincher on the robot could like pick up an M&M and not crush it. Like, we're not getting fucking blown up in Iraq. Like, we got a robot, right? Oh, if you identify that IED, like call in EOD, which is the Explosive Ordnance Division. I think there was a movie about this guy. He puts on the whole suit, walks down. He's supposed to like actually
Hurt locker,
right?
Yeah.
Like call those guys. They're going to come and disarm the bomb. It's going to be this great thing. When you get there, there's trash everywhere on the road. You won't make it down the road if you stop for every piece of trash. Right. So guess what our SOP, our standard operating procedure became? Run it over. If it blows up, it was a bomb. And so these vehicles, that's what they're designed to do, is get blown up. They have something called a V-shaped hull. So when the explosion goes off underneath it, it basically dissipates the energy and pushes it out to the side.
This is where the military-industrial complex comes up with some good shit. I got to give them a ton of credit. Shout out Northrop Grumman, whoever the fuck, Lockheed.
So
have to put that in
the
there.
way that the way that our unit operated is you basically would rotate these positions, right? And so each squad would take certain roles on different missions. And some of it is you're doing it, frankly, so guys just don't get bored, right? Doing the same thing every single night. Some of it is, again, there's like this psychotic element of like, well, if somebody's going to get blown up, like, I hope it's me today, right? Why do they get to have the cool story? Like, I mean, literally, there's some of that stuff going on. And so when you get into these Husky vehicles, these vehicles are designed specifically to get blown up, but also you're the only person in the vehicle. So think of like it basically looks like a tractor, and you're getting in it, and you've got a little box around you. There is no gun up top. Your gun is the only gun on that vehicle, and you have your rifle in the vehicle with you. And when you get in this vehicle, you know that the probability of any vehicle in this convoy getting blown up is higher in this vehicle. But there is no one to help you if you get blown up, because
Wait, why is that?
there's no one else in the vehicle. You are solo in this vehicle. And so if you look up,
Is this it
look
right
up
here?
Husky Army vehicle, you'll find it. But
Okay.
what
That's
you
a striker right there. You were talking about that one too.
that's the striker. So the Husky vehicle is, you're basically going to, just pull up one of those. You can see that top there, those two flaps. You basically drop in to what is that kind of boxed in windowed area, and then you pull these flaps down on top of you.
Like a fly trap.
And you're in that vehicle. And you can see that there's these panels on the side there, that those panels actually come down and they can scan for mines underneath the ground.
This isn't like 08 doing this?
Yeah, this is 2008.
God, what do we have now?
And so you have all that stuff. Guess what? We never put the panels down. Never. Takes too long.
Oh my God. You guys are
Drive
crazy.
over the fucking trash. If it blows up, it's a bomb. And so what ends up happening is when you get in this vehicle, though, here's where it really fucks with your head. When you get in that vehicle, we started to put tourniquets on our arms and legs before we got in the vehicle. Because God forbid you get blown up in that vehicle and actually get hurt, no one's coming until they can fight through whatever the ambush is and get to you to help you.
So you'd have it already tied, ready to
So
roll.
what you have is you have it loosely applied to the tops of your legs, like kind of near your groin area, and then you have them on your arms. I have pictures of myself and other guys getting into these vehicles with it, and we would literally practice. If I get blown up and my right arm is gone, how do I put the tourniquet on with my left arm? And you got to practice. And so you can imagine psychologically, you're getting in a vehicle, you're excited. Like, I'm out in front, I'm leading the way, right? But I can't fight back. And if I get hurt, I'm on my own. And so there's all these components to it that you go through it. But what you end up realizing is it's a lot like life. There's like the way you should do things, but there's a trade-off, efficiency, right? Cost, etc. And so if we're going to go do multiple miles of a route and clear it, and we got to be back here in 3 hours, we better be moving, right? We got to be going, or we're going to just sit here all day. And now that route people can't go down that route until we're done. And so going through that experience, what you start to realize is like, oh, I see. The real world is actually about people getting shit done, not what is in the manual, what was the training, etc. It's really just, okay, given all of the inputs, given all of what I understand about our desired outcome, how do I make decisions? And at the end of the day, the people on the ground, they're making the decisions. It's not somebody back in, some command center. They got no clue. They got no clue we don't have those panels down. All they know is when I ask these guys to go do shit, they get it done on time. And when that route is hot next, and somebody goes down that route, they don't get blown up. These guys always clear the route. So you just learn over time what to do and kind of what the on the ground truth is versus, what you're trained to do.
You got blown up though while you were there, right? You were in some of those convoys when that happened?
One of the first, the Army does a very good job doing transitions. So the two most dangerous times in kind of deployments are basically like the first 2 to 4 weeks and the last 2 to 4 weeks. The first 2 to 4 weeks, you can think about the fact that you're new. You don't know the routes. You don't know the people. You don't know that, hey, that cinder block's never been there before. That's different tonight, right? What's going on over there? And then also the enemy pays attention. Every day a vehicle goes by and it's got the same marking on it. All of a sudden there's a new one. Hey, I've never seen that guy before. Wait, next day, I haven't seen that guy before. Oh shit, they're transitioning. And they know. And so attacks ratchet up during those first 2 to 4 weeks and the last 2 to 4 weeks. So it's very dangerous. And so what they do is they basically do like a left seat, right seat. At first it starts out like 100% old unit, 0% new guys. Then it's like 90% old unit, 10% new guys. And then it eventually gets to 50-50. And then you kind of fully transition over and it's 100% new guys. And so I think it was the first or one of the first missions that we went out as 100% our unit without the guys we were taking over from. We're driving through in the middle of the night, going super slow. I'm standing out the back of the striker. And, you know, you're up there, you're watching shit, you got your gun, hoping that either it's really quiet or like, let's just get this shit popping, you know, second we get outside the gate. Like, but anything in between is like death by boredom, essentially. And all of a sudden, we're going through kind of a very small town. I just hear just real close, like right past our heads. And growing up, I didn't play with guns a lot. I didn't do any of this stuff. And the guy who's standing up beside me from Western Pennsylvania, hunts all the time. And I just look at him, I go, what was that? He goes, I don't know, but I've been hunting a lot. That was a fucking bullet. Get down. And we just dive into the vehicle. And so immediately everyone starts calling out that there's a potential sniper. We can't see. It's pitch black. And not only is it pitch black, but they can see us easily. We're illuminated. And so now we're sitting inside the vehicle, but basically you got to choose. You're going to sit inside the vehicle all night, or are you going to get back up there and try to find this guy? And so, you know, we're searching. Everyone in the convoy is searching. We can't find him. So, okay, keep moving. That should have been the red flag. But we just thought, hey, you know what? Maybe we're wrong, right? We have headsets on and stuff so we can communicate with each other. It's the middle of the night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe we're tired. Do we imagine it, right? All these things are going through your head. It was one. Why didn't he shoot a second time? All this stuff. And so we keep driving. We get out onto a main supply route. And the unit we took over from, they had nicknamed a stretch of this road as IED Alley. Yeah. Now, IED Alley has become a phrase that people use for a lot of parts of Iraq. Yeah. Right? Each unit kind of has their own sector that they're responsible for, and there's usually a road in there that's where the IEDs go because it's a great place to place IEDs, right?
Yeah, I've had some guys mention this on the show.
And so for us, there was this one stretch of the road, and it was perfect for the enemy because basically what it was a very long stretch. There was nothing. There was just fields on both sides. There were telephone poles on the street, so they could actually time how fast we were moving. They could just time, okay, between telephone pole 1 and 2, it takes them X amount of time to get there. Well, if they keep that speed, I know when I can detonate this thing and hit them.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.